It would have taken us at least 30 minutes to turn back and go around the quadrant. We hear crashing now, and then in the woods, but it never got close to us again. Finally, we were relieved it was still there and not broken into. Shoved our handguns between the seats and sent a console and get in the front seat. I began to drive out the forest with my moonroof open, and the stars were just gorgeous. It's easy to forget how amazing the night is in the middle of Akala National. About half a mile down the road, my headlights fall onto a man in a checker button-down shirt and shorts just walling along the road. We are miles away from any other paved roads, and then it's another 5 to 10 miles on that paved road to get to town. Also, this is in the northern part of the forest, where there were no old cabins that were built before it was declared a national park. Weird stuff is going on out there. Growing up in northern Idaho, I found the native lore surrounding Sasquatch very compelling because it resonated with the Islamic folklore of jinn that I grew up hearing about from various relatives from the Indian subcontinent. Jinn, like many of the native legends, are shapeshifters and exist mainly in secluded areas of wilderness. They are often associated with strong sulfuric odors, more commonly associated with demons, devils, and the like. And it turns out, countless reports of Bigfoot/Sasquatch too. For an undergraduate project years ago, I interviewed famed cryptozoologist Grover Krantz at WSU. He had analyzed the famous Patterson footage down to a gait in proportion to size, movement, muscle beneath the skin, the infamous torso turn, and of course the apparent breasts. It was fascinating, but not nearly as fascinating as all the anecdotal evidence he received from park rangers, hunters, farmers, and hikers. Krantz explained that most folks almost always bristled at his inquiries about sightings for fear of ridicule. Once Krantz earned their trust and assured them it was for research, he heard some fascinating stories that often defy explanation, including vanishings, mysterious sounds, and impossible happenings. For example, a farmer apparently shot one point blank only to have it disappear on him. The sulfurous stench, of course, was mentioned ad nauseum. Krantz, however, maintained until his death that Bigfoot was some kind of elusive primate and nothing more. Now, if you really want to put on your paranormal hat with me, my own mum told an incredible story when I was around 7 or 8, well before I had any interest in Bigfoot. She said a lady would come to the house on occasion to help cook and clean when my mother was around 10 or 11, while living in rural parts of the Punjab. This particular lady apparently told tales and whatnot, according to my mum anyway. And this lady insisted that she knew of a man who had befriended a jinn. In Islam, jinn have moral agencies just as humans do. As such, many can be good. In Mecca, there is even a mosque dedicated to the jinn. She had begged and begged to meet the fantastical creature, but the man refused, and one day the man finally relented, or so she told my mum. He told her to go into the far room, and there she would meet the creature. Now I know this sounds far-fetched, and is just a late-night tale on Reddit, best met with incredulity. But what the woman saw often makes my hair stand on edge, considering the time, the place, and when my mum casually told it to me in the first place. Again, I was maybe 7 or 8, with really no clue about Bigfoot or jinn. Before running out of the room in a panic, the woman swore she saw a large, darkened creature that almost reached the ceiling covered in hair, and had a face, oddly like a man.
You're the one,
When I was
she's the
around
one who
5,
I
I
see
went
it.
camping with my parents
So,
in a place
don't be
called
scared.
Bear Creek Reservoir in
Otherwise
British
you'll push
Columbia. It's a very isolated place deep in the woods.
You're the one who
We got
asked
there by
to see
driving up
it.
an old logging road. The actual reservoir itself is very beautiful and quiet. I actually looked up the area on Google Maps, and it still gives me chills even looking at it from a satellite perspective. But anyway, so the day passed without incident. We mostly just swam the whole day and went to bed, but the following morning I woke up in my parents' tent just as the sun was making its appearance. I unzipped the tent and noticed a figure standing maybe 50 feet away. The light was fairly dim, so it was hard to make out distinct details, but it was just standing there, staring at me unmoving. The entity had the figure of a woman of average size, but instead of seeing a face, there was just darkness. But I could tell it was looking at me. And instead of clothes, the skin it had were leaves and sticks, as if it were made from them. I remember feeling very afraid of this creature, like if I had left the tent, I wouldn't be seen again. So I tried waking up my parents, but they were both really annoyed I woke them up, and didn't believe me until they finally got up later and explored the area. We ended up finding a bunch of man-made structures made of branches and other weird stuff in the area.
Pause it. Hit the bed, you know. Gang gang. I'll see you guys in the morning, I guess. See you guys 7 in the morning. Let's go chill somewhere. Let's go turn this apartment for now. Okay, press play.
Shared this story with many of my
Let's order
friends
some
and people that are
McDonald's.
interested
Why
in
not?
the unknown.
There you are.
This happened to me and my family
I'm
back
one
in
to a day. I'm
2001.
hungry, for fuck's sake.
I was about 10 years old at the
Shit.
time. We lived in a small rural town pronounced Aladala on the south coast of Australia. This is a quiet town for beachgoers, fishermen, and people on holidays from the city, as well as plenty of retirees. Nothing exciting happens here. It's the same monotonous day to the same life that never changes. We were celebrating my grandmother's birthday at her and my grandfather's house one night. They lived at the backside of the town on a rurally type setting, paddocks, cows, older style homes, with acres of land and lots of bush on a road called Slaughterhouse Road. This is where the local slaughterhouse used to be, hence the name. My grandparents were Italian, so food was in abundance. Parents chatting about how good the seafood was, just your usual Italian birthday celebration. Being so young, late nights seemed distant for my two brothers, sister and I, so my mother decided that we could call it a night and head home, as it was 9 p.m. and past our bedtime. As we said our goodbyes, we loaded into the car one by one. I called dibs on the front seat, which I kind of regret. My mother was the last to jump in. In the meantime, I was grabbing the top end of my seatbelt to strap in for the ride home, when I had caught some movement from outside the car window no further than about 8 feet or so away. We were parked in front of the garage, where I saw this thing, right where the brickwork ended. It led into the paddocks at the back of the property. I was put into a state of confusion mixed with shock at exactly what I was looking at. Humanoid in appearance, this thing crawled on all 4 appendages, slowly moving out of sight. As it crept past the side of the garage, I say it was about 6 feet long, thin and malnourished, with its bones pushing against its skin. The texture of the skin was like polished leather, pale white, grey and slimy in appearance. As it crawled, the shoulder blades protruded up, like when you see a cheetah on the way it walks around. No tail, its head was just out of view, as it had already passed before I got a glimpse of it. My stomach churned as the hairs stunk from my skin. My first reaction was to turn to my mother for safety and reassurance that my eyes had been deceiving me. And as I turn around for reassurance, I see this furthest thing away from it. Her face was pale, drained of all colour and expression. I waited for any sense of normality to return to the situation when she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Lock the doors." My 2 brothers and sister and I did the same thing, slammed the doors and put the lock down. The car was quickly flung into reverse, and we were backing up the driveway like we were recreating a stunt drive from a Hollywood movie. As we turned down the dark, narrow, bush-covered streets to head home, I still needed that reassurance. I asked my mother what that was. She hesitated and just said, "I'm sure it's just a dog. There are a few scrap rods around here. I'm sure it's just one of the guard dogs that got loose." I knew what she had seen, but took the most plausible excuse to calm myself down. Years later, as I got older, I revisited that night with my mother and asked her if she remembered that night outside of Grandma's house, and claimed it wasn't a big dog. She looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "No, darling, I told you kids so that you wouldn't be scared. I'm 28 years old and still remember that night like it happened yesterday. I reignite my memory of it every time a friend or new acquaintance asks about scary stories. I smile and say, 'You think that's scary?' Go on this private land that I believe was around 100 acres total. I don't recall the specifics of exactly where the forest was, but if this opens a can of worms, I'll ask for specifics. I know for a fact it was in Michigan/Indiana, the border area. In other words, Michiana. Anyway, they set out around noon to get to the forest and arrived at around 1 p.m. and started hiking back in the woods. They each had their own tree stands/blinds set up prior, so they made their way to them. I remember my grandpa telling me he hiked a few miles back, so they had been deep in the forest. As the day goes on, they don't see any deer, and once the sun begins to set, they decide to start making their way back to the truck and meet up near my grandpa's tree stand/blind. So this is where something weird happens. They're making their way back, and the sun has completely set. Luckily, they brought flashlights for the walk back, because they had to walk a few miles in the pitch dark. They finally have about a mile left of hiking when they see something crouched in front of them, with their backs turned to them. My grandpa and his friends stopped dead in their tracks, staring at this random dude in the woods at night. My grandpa described him as a bald white guy, wearing a black and white striped shirt. My grandpa and his friend speak up at that moment, and they want to ask him what he's doing out there. But without a word, the man stands up and faces them, staring at them, and then levitates up towards the tree and vanishes. After that, they sprinted to the truck and never went back to the land again. It's not the craziest story, and I know it sounds weird as hell, but I know for a fact my grandpa experienced this. He's not a liar, and it's not his kind of interest to just tell scary campfire stories that are made up to us kids. Whenever he would tell me the story, you could see it in his face. It was something that had disturbed him to his core. It's not something he fabricated at all. I'm here to ask if anyone has ever seen or encountered anything like it. I'd love to talk about it with anyone who knows. I remember this story as clearly as the day my father told it to me. He's no longer with us. He passed away January 15th, 2019. But he and I spoke about this several times. But the first time he told me is the one that remains. He was what they call a pathfinder in Vietnam. He blended to his environment like a chameleon. He was helping a friend who had gotten a piece of land in the wilds of Alaska for homesteading. He said he observed this creature, this giant, for about 15 minutes. My dad was 5'10", and he estimated this giant to be 15 feet tall. He said it was fair-skinned with a long beard and had bear skins on his chest and shoulders, and deer or moose skins on his lower half. He said the giant had very crude shoes of fur as well. What struck me as crazy was the fact that my dad said the giant was whistling. Then it made a deep grunt sound and 2 wolves appeared, and they hunted together like a pack. He said they disappeared soon after getting a nice deer. He couldn't believe what he'd seen. He told his friend, and they went to the local tribal grounds and asked around, and found out that many hunters had seen them. They think maybe it was a family, because a few men claimed to see a female about 12 to 13 feet tall, and a smaller one with her. It amazed me, and I have researched a lot into different cultures to see if there was giant lore, and it seems that it's mostly in colder climates. In regards to why they're not very often seen, there are very few of them.
I'm not
They
born.
are seen every few years or tracks are found, and these are almost always in enormous wilderness areas where there are no people to see them 99% of the time. They don't live near civilized areas the way Bigfoot will, so they are just not frequently spotted by us as a result. It is also likely they're far more intelligent than Bigfoot. Evidence the occasional sightings, with one carrying a sack or basket, footwear, goat-hide clothing, and Stone Age-type weapons. Not all of them are this bright, according to the stories, but they could sure avoid us quite easily, especially with their ability to move large distances and across difficult terrain swiftly. I was 14 years old when I went on this camping trip with my family and best friend. It was night time, and my friend and I decided to walk over the park at the campground to swing. We get there and I instantly have this bad feeling, but I ignore it. We start swinging and I can't help but look to the top of the playground. It was like a big jungle gym with a tower at the top. Standing there was this young boy who couldn't have been older than 6. I couldn't make out his face, but it was dark to a shadow, so I knew it wasn't a bad spirit. He was sobbing and begging me to help him. He said his parents didn't love him and that he was practically the black sheep of the family. The last thing he told me was that he wanted to pass, and I needed to leave. It felt so real, I wanted to save him, but I knew that this wasn't an actual boy. So I freaked out and started running back to camp with my friend following. When we got back to the camper, I told everyone what happened, and my friend said she saw and heard nothing. My stepmom's face went white and said that we need to go see my mother now. Well, my mom was on the phone, so she didn't hear what happened. Turns out my mom was on the phone with my aunt, and my aunt was ready to take her own life. She's the black sheep of the family, and my grandma doesn't like her at all. So what I was seeing and hearing was exactly what my aunt was feeling and thinking. We talked and I told her everything I experienced. She knew after that it wasn't her time to go and that we shared a special bond. Thankfully, she's still around today. Context. I was 17 when this happened. I'm female and, spoilers, I'm a lot more savvy now than I used to be. I was 17. And had just started a relationship with a guy who I thought was the world. Turns out he cheated on me several times and was no good for me. My parents warned me off. They told me he was a loser and a bum. You see, he was 27, so a lot older than me, had dropped out of high school and had pretty much been homeless for a long time. He and I met through mutual friends at a party, and we really hit it off, and I thought he was the love of my life. Oh, to be 17. In any case, he told me to run away from home, that my parents didn't understand our love, and that we should be free to do whatever we pleased. It didn't matter that I was still going to school. He convinced me with his sweet words, and off I ran. We were gone for about 3 weeks when this happened. Life had already started to seem quite bleak. Being homeless was nowhere near as glamorous as he made it out. Sleeping rough, having to struggle for food, and he rinsed the little money I had in my bank account relatively quickly. He told me of a cabin that he knew, right near the edge of the woods. He said that he had rented it off the owner before, and that they went way back. I, totally smitten, agreed with the proposal. It would be nice to have a roof over our heads. truth be told, I was starting to miss my parents, but I was still blindsided by love. He took me to the cabin, which was about a key. We still wouldn't have been able to get in.
Ooh.
I was wondering at this point if my boyfriend's...
What is it? My boy is here. Unlock it. Here you go, here's your burgers. Thanks, here's the money. Cool. Sure. Let's lock it. Let's go eat here. Go to here. Okay. Let's play a bond.
So we packed our tent and started heading towards the park known as Rixendorfen Hohe. By the time we arrived at what we now found was a forested hill, it was already dark. We headed up thinking we would get some privacy somewhere high on the hill. After a climb, somewhere half up, we found an open place, which under any normal given circumstance would have been perfect. Only I did not feel safe there at all. By now I was feeling such a drag to my partner, but the type of anxiety I was feeling was one I'd never felt. I started scouting around the place, and the source of my anxiety became clear. On the path up to our clearing, I saw something I can only describe as someone staring at us from a distance. I was paralyzed, just staring at this man. After composing myself, I convinced my partner to not take this place, but instead to head higher up. While climbing, I tried to tell him what I'd seen, but also that I didn't think the thing I saw was human, and tried to convey that the fear I felt was of a paranormal kind. He believed me, but it was also scaring him a bit. But we kept heading upwards. Eventually we reached the top of the hill, where there was a huge clearing decorated with steel stones in a circle of some kind. I still felt really on edge, so I didn't want to pitch the tent immediately. I wanted to calm myself down first, so I told my partner I was going to meditate, and asked him if he wanted to meditate with me as well. I tried meditating, but I was too scared to close my eyes. After some time of not meditating, but really just staring at the tree line, I gave up, and just looked around the place we were at. The first thing that caught my eye was a tree separate from all the others, somewhat in the middle of the clearing. For some reason I couldn't divert my gaze from this tree, and that's when I clearly saw it. A black figure, seemingly in the tree, waving its arms, almost like a dance. I was having none of it. Scared, I started yelling at it to go away. That's when my partner noticed it as well. Something he later described as a clear aura outline. He joined me in telling it to back off, only it didn't. Instead, I heard it approach more and more, but what I heard sounded like static, followed by a hard tick on my nose. I immediately stood up and told it harshly to piss off without fear, after which I immediately apologized as to not anger whatever the hell we encountered. We picked up our bags and practically ran down the hill, totally forgetting about our tiredness, and just kept running, and kept talking to the forest, thanking the spirit for the encounter, and telling it I wouldn't seek contact and confirmation of further proof of existence of spirits anymore. I kind of felt like a crazy person, but the shared experience told me I wasn't going insane. We kept running, and nearly down the hill my partner stepped into a big pile of horse poo, which lightened the mood almost immediately. While me coming to the hasty conclusion that this was all an elaborate joke of some trickster. We safely made it out the park, but the experience was one I'll never forget. We ended up sleeping in Marianneplatz, close to where the other hobos set up camp as well, and where half the place is squatted by punkers. So now the reason for posting this story. Have you guys ever heard of this place? Maybe people in Berlin who can check it out themselves? I don't think the entity we encountered was evil per se. I'm just quite sad about how I handled the situation. I have the feeling perhaps I could have communicated with what it was, but sadly I've left Berlin now. And also, It's way over my head when it comes to that stuff. Let me know if any of you have been that way and have felt something similar. I used to live on a large property with a lake, 29 acres of land and heavily forested. I was playing, and was about 11 or 12 at the time, outside by myself, right when the sun was setting. It was fall, and there were barely any lights outside, except maybe for a light on the house about 50 feet away from the playset that I was on. Behind the playset were really tall trees, and not many new sapling trees anywhere near, because we had been clearing them out. I know specifically that there were no trees short enough to have some owl or animal sit on, because all the pine trees were mature and taller than my 2-story house. My mum came out to tell me that dinner was almost ready. When she did this, she turned on the outside light on the back porch, illuminating the area so I could see. I was on the swing set at the time. I started to get up, and I turn around, and I think to find my flip-flops, and I see 2 bright eyes reflecting the light outside the light, looking at me about 20 feet away. The eyes were well above any human size and were large, about 7 to 7.5 feet off the ground. I stopped stunned and really scared. I was really familiar with the woods right behind the swing set, and I knew something unnatural was looking at me.
So it's this now.
Guys, the Shrine here and welcome. Oh, is it that time again? Oh, okay. So what is going on, guys? The Shrine here and welcome back to another episode of 3 Random Games. Now, this is going to be a much more chill intro compared to usual. Hopefully you guys do still enjoy this video. I'm looking forward to checking out the 3 games as I always do. And with that said, let's get started with this thing. That's for you guys to learn about my pussy. We're going to be playing is called Please Don't Litter, with emphasis on not littering. So, is this a problem in this universe? The menu looked kind of stacked up high. A few years ago, an anomalous object appeared in one of the cities. It looked like a big timer. Every 10 seconds, it generates tons of garbage. Wait, what? Because of this, the inhabitants of the city had to be evacuated. A few months later, the city turned into a dump. In order not to completely litter the whole world, they began to hire garbage collectors. Garbage collectors work almost all night and hardly get paid. You are one of those garbage collectors. Great, so the game is about an anomaly that spawns in trash all the time. That's it. This is our game basis. Here we go. Oh man. What the freak? Okay, it may be spawning in garbage, but there is no excuse for this. I can't even talk before things start going weird. Building looking like a monster is taking a chomp now? Now you got Godzilla problems here, buddy. So left mouse button to grab. Okay, we can get the trash. Let's do it. So we can place it maybe in the trash like this. This is what we do. This is our job. You can hear all the trash spawning in behind us too, so we gotta be quick time here. We just dump the whole thing in the bin. Like, hang on a second, let me put that there. That didn't work well. By the way, do you guys say the bin or the trash? Some UK words for you. We say it in the bin. Okay, we don't say trash. Wait, that's the anomaly. Oh, there you go. Okay, wait.
Let's pause it. Head to bed. Wake up for school in the morning. I'll see you guys in the morning, I guess. See you then. 5 in the morning. Let's head to school, yo. Over there at school, yo. Let's rock this bitch back up. Let's rock it. Just so no one can break in. You know what I mean. I'll rock it. Rock it back up. Head down. Ground. I'll see you guys when I'm at school, I guess. See you then. Here we are at school. First class for the day should be this class here. Good morning, class. Sit down. Class dismissed. Cool. Second class for the day is this class here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. My last class for the day into the afternoon is class here. Good morning, class. Class dismissed. Have fun at break. Cool. It's break time. Let's go chill. Around here will do. Like I did like a couple of days ago. Right here will do. Press play.
Wow, I mean, I'm still missing, but it's making it fun. Go long, bud, go long.
One for day.
2 more of the trash bags. I'm gonna try and throw them in. See, that's why you should probably just place them in. I've just wasted my time right now. I'm just kidding. I want this guy to see how cool I am. Look at this. Look how much I'm good at my job. Gotta be impressed by that. If he's not, I'm kicking him off this drone when we fly out. 5 for 6. We got one more. Give me a second, bud. We'll stack this next one up and we will join you back at the sea. Actually satisfying. Now that I can pick things up and throw them, I'm actually enjoying this. This is weird and abnormal. Why would I enjoy doing this? If this was real life, this would be absolute torture. The worst job to ever try and do. Especially in a place where the trash you clean up just spawns back in endlessly. Alright? We did this. Maybe we won't have to do this much longer, though. I'm done with this. And we are flying out. Place that one in gently, so... How do I sit on this now? We're doing it. We're perched up. Is it coming? No way, this is cool. Hey, here he is. He addressed it as a he. I don't know what this thing is, but you know? Okay, you don't want to talk. He came into here to simply tell me how to get out. This don't feel safe, and it better not grab my back. For real, because that's gonna hurt. Here we go. We're close to those mechanical parts. You wanna... I don't duck. Wait, I'm just flying out. Please don't litter. I ain't, sir. Everyone else is... Look at these mounds. Like, these are stories high. Wow. Is this bridge broken also? It's like the weight of the trash around here just took down the civilization. Really, look at this. Somewhere in the dump, there is a train on which you can safely leave here. On it, the guards will not notice you. Oh, we're getting an escape plan. Let's go. I know one person who will help you get to him. He lives somewhere in the garbage unloading area. Whoa, through this thing? Yeah, we're good. Unfortunately, you will have to go to him alone. I won't be able to go with you. Alright, get ready to jump. Here? I'm good. Hey! My knees are literally made of titanium. Did you hear that? Did we hear that? Get ready to jump, he says. We did it. I'm sorry, but I can't keep walking with you. Good luck on getting out of this. Now we've got some free roam. It's so cool. Like, we're playing this. See, we've got the garbage trucks. They are airborne, always moving like a network. And still, the trash pile's as high as it has. They're not preventing this from going down. So there's not much of a point really sticking around this. Wait, hold on, what's this? Please don't throw items at this truck. Thank you. Can I talk to the truck? No, the trucks don't have... What am I doing? Trucks don't have a brain. I'm a troublemaker. Wait. What? No way, a freaking boss battle. No way. Oh my god, a boss battle with a truck. This is what you call originality right here. Scoop this. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe it. Catch that. This is so interesting. What the heck? Throw that. We don't want to go underneath that. I think that will be how we get killed. So load over here. I said low. I meant law, but same thing. A respectable way to die given the situation. Bro, it's... Okay, I'm gonna show that. There was a bug stuck on top of it, and I think it continually damaged it as a result, so this thing just gave me the early head start. Thank you. So don't go underneath it. That's all we do. This was the... I bust him up. Hey, get outplayed. Alright, you're done, sir. Your trash collecting days are over. Though, what are you trying to imply when you were, trying to pick me up like that? Don't like that. Here's our exit. The way is open. No one's standing out. No one wants to be in this trashy old stinky place. Do I blame them? Not entirely. Oh, wait, hold up. The guy. This is how we do it. I'm seeing, this. Why do you have a duck, though? That's a goose, actually. Hey, I think you want to get out of this junkyard. There's an abandoned station off our way that has no security, so you can safely leave the train there. The problem is that you have to swim across the river to get there. I'll lend you a boat if you help me. Fill the fucking containers to my left. Put each type of garbage in its own container. That's all you want? That's it, plastic, metal. This is so interesting. I love it, I love it. That's paper, right? There's your paper. Okay, we got that. This is our metal. How about going along? Let's see how we do. Let's focus on one at a time here. Okay, I say don't do it, but here I am. Okay, again, I've just proven my point. Literally, why you don't go wrong. It's so painstakingly obvious why you shouldn't. And there we go with number 7. You know, I think the rest is going to be fairly obvious. So here we go. We're going to get like some kind of cleaning montage. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, nice. Good stuff. There you go. Hello. Nice to meet you. Cool. Nice, 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 sweet, nice. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, thank you very much. You can take the boat. Good luck getting out of this dump. Thank you. That's the boat. Okay, let's hop in. This is going places. And here we are. We made it. We made it to the other side. The train track. This is how we leave. We've seen the train go over, right? Wait for the train. Hop on. Apparently there's no guard here. Perfect. Perfect. Here it comes. Here it comes. Hey, slow down. Slow down. Grind that thing to a halt. Is it slowing down? It is. Oh. Yep, yep, yep. This is my way out. This is my way out. I saw that. And here we go. We leave. We leave behind this desolate and destroyed city, which waste of power also? If no one's living here, why has everything got a power source? Here we go. That's it. The game was made by Ken Forrest in just 72 hours. Played well, Falcon.
So you can enjoy the little things that make Christmas special. Order online from Woolworths, and we'll deliver direct to your boot.
This next game is called SpongeBob Killer Pants because, like, it's scary, guys, because he's gonna kill us. I'm gonna just hit play. I don't know anything about this game. I guess we're gonna learn. It was Friday, the 23rd of September. You worked as a cleaner for your mind. We're gonna see. Here we go. WSD to move. We're in the game, guys. We're doing this. Krusty Krab horror game. SpongeBob's gonna kill us. All right, this world sucks, though. Look, we got the trio right there. We got this. What happened to Bikini Bottom? Did the place just get demolished? Guys, I don't know. It's not about me. It never was about me. Here we are. We're the cleaner. We ain't even in this place yet. Already we're freaking out. So what is this? What is this? Are you Cannon? I don't remember you being Cannon. I'm not gonna lie. Trash bin behind this. Yep, it's just a trash bin. Who'd have thought? I don't like my odds. This is how we start a shift. So we clean off the tables like so. Why has this place got to be so gritty? I've never known a Krusty Krab place to look like this. We'll do our job. We'll clean up. People enjoyed their food today. That really doesn't look clean, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, did I clean the table behind me? Let me see. Okay, yeah, I cleaned the wrong table. What the heck even happened right there? Doesn't matter. We're still getting our job done. This is what we do. Pick up the pieces that no one else wanted to, especially on the customers after they enjoyed their food. Would it hurt to just, have the lights on a little bit? So take trash out to the dumpster behind the building. We saw that before. Like, I'm trying to clean out here. You don't have to skip out on the power this much, Mr. Krabs. Are you kidding me? And I should probably save that sprint for a while. Here we go. Throw it in. Boom. Easy. Sweep them off the floors. What was that? That actually made my heart jump a little bit. Investigate the sound. I'm investigating. Sure, I'm seeing nothing. Probably a wild coyote or whatever's down here. I don't know. I'm gonna go back inside into the safety of this place. Wait. The sound didn't come from anywhere else. It came from within sight. Enter the freaking... We're in the basement, guys. We're in the freaking basement! Crap! That's real blood! Why is this like kind of like a scary concept game? What am I doing? Do you want me to clean this? Each winter. What the heck? It's SpongeBob Killer Pants! And there's nothing we can do. Maybe there is. Oh, he's got a broken neck. Okay, he's looking extra. Where are we going? Wait, we're holding the flashlight. That was the anthology of fear. I don't know much about this. It says over on the itch page that basically we're investigating our brother's disappearance, but it looked like one of the better looking games that I've seen in a long time. So I want to play it for its, I guess for the end. This might be a little bit of a longer video, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Pops it in there, yeah? He wants to know what went down. What's that tape housing? Some kind of mysterious story? Keen to find out. In goes the tape. And wait, do we play what's on the tape? We are the person in the tape. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea. Pulse and red light. Don't know what that signifies. I breathed as deep as this dude did. And here we go. Get out of the car. All right, and here we go. This is Anthology of Fear. All right, here we go. Let's hop out of the car anyway. And away we go. It's like sort of olden time. We see with the style here. So take a look around the place. Stay asleep. Don't tell me what to do with this. It's an interesting control. So we right click and we have this cursor where we can almost like point and click on stuff to examine things. Never seen a game do that, but it works very well. Very simple idea. Hey, I'm picking my feet up. What's this? The phone is a lie. What? Hold on. Let me see that. Honestly, I have no idea what that is referring to. Me neither. I put a tape in, not a phone. Maybe they screwed it up. Maybe it was supposed to be for something different. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm gonna be over there in just a sec. Got anything back here? Nope. Listen. What the freak was that? If I run just a little bit, is that my bad cardio? Bro, that might have been my trashy old cardio. Hold up, what is this? Hey, ma'am, you good? I mean, you ain't real. You don't need that. That's not a logical place to put a mannequin. No, you're right. Good, it's very smart. An ordinary fuel canister, I think it still has some gas in it. We can't take it, though. Okay, so we've noted that about our environment. Let's head over to mannequin number 2. Wait, when we were doing that, the phone rang. Sure, I got you. I don't feel so good looking at the phone. I have a feeling I should stay away. Okay, what's the mannequin got? We got like a crowbar here? Take that, you picked up a crowbar. Open the door. Wait, what are you talking about? This one here? Right, I can't go that way. So you're gonna have to be more specific. You want a door opened? What door?
Well, shit, I guess I'll see you when the fuck I see, I guess. A month later, a week later, who the fuck knows? I'll be chilling here. Like, not chilling here, but going to bed, going to school, then chilling here on break. So, I'll see you whenever the fuck I see you, I guess. Bye for now.